What's going on YouTube? Uberman here. So you guys know that I picked up a 2015 Ford Mustang Performance Pack on January 12th, 2017. And let me tell you guys, it has been an absolute disaster trying to get this deal finalized. And some of the things that happened are just unbelievable. Things that dealers aren't even allowed to do. And the best part is I've got them on audio recording. No, I did not have their consent, but Oklahoma is a single-party consent state, and since I was a party to the conversation, I can legally record them, and on top of that, this was recorded in a public place with no expectation of privacy. So I'm covered on that end, but I'm going to let you guys hear the audio that I got from some of these conversations, and I am just appalled with the way this company does business. I am not happy with them. They dropped the ball on me every step of the way. And to be quite honest with you, this financing would have never gone through had it not been for me going to the dealership and bothering them, literally bugging them, to the point where some of them even seemed like they were pissed off that I was back again. This deal would have never gotten done. I traded in my Hyundai Elantra on January the 12th. It took until the 23rd before we finally had to re-sign paperwork where they asked me to put an additional $3,000 down on this 2015 Mustang. And I told them there's no way in hell that's going to happen, and they could just give me my Elantra back. Well, even after we signed the new paperwork on February 23rd, the deal was still not done. It is now February the 14th. It is Valentine's Day, and we just got this deal finalized and cleared up just less than 5 days ago. Less than 5 days ago, I got a title in the mail for this new car, and I had to go tag it. And this new car had 2 liens against it. 2 liens, meaning 2 banks held an interest in this vehicle. They gave me a lien release for one, but there wasn't a lien release for the second one. And I'm not going to go down, and yes, I could tag it with that lien on it, but I'm not going to. It cost me $1,057 to tag this car. I am not putting another $1,057 into a car that still has an active lien under somebody else's name. I would be stupid to do that. So I had to go back to the dealership and deal with that. I literally, because I never heard anything from them, I had to keep going to the dealership. And they also didn't pay off my Elantra. They had my Elantra, goodness, over a month without paying it off. And I've got my bank, GMAC, contacting me 3 times a day telling me I need to make a payment on a car that I no longer have. To make matters worse, they sold the car. They sold my Elantra to somebody else who was out driving it around before they even paid it off. The dealership literally sold my car to another person who took possession, drove off the lot with it, while they never paid it off, and my bank is still coming at me to make the car payment on that car. Unbelievable. So, in this audio that you're going to hear, and some of the video, I went to the dealership to confront them on these issues, and to tell them they need to pay my car off, and they need to get me a lien release to my new car. We're going to have some serious problems. So, without further ado, let's jump into this and get started. Alright guys, just wanted to show you, since we're going to have to go audio only here in just a minute, that we are at David Stanley Ford here in Midwest City. Alright, this is where all this drama has started from, and hopefully we can get some kind of resolution to it today. So let's go find out what they're going to say. Alright, we're at David Stanley Ford on 29th Street in Midwest City. It's February 8th, 2017, and it is 3:42 p.m. I'm going to put this phone in my pocket, and we're going to go in and try to figure out what's going on with this whole situation. Hello. Can I speak with Eric, please? Hill? Thank you.
Hey, bud.
How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. So, we're ready to get...
Well, I'm supposed to be done, but we got a lot of problems here. And after a Google search of David Stanley last night, I'm more than a little concerned about what's happening here.
Okay.
This car's got 2 liens on it. I've only got one lien release. And my car that you guys were supposed to pay it off, it's about to hit my credit in a few days. They said, don't worry, we're going to expedite overnight a payment. That was a week ago. And my bank is calling me 3 times a day saying that if I don't make this payment, somebody's coming for this car. And the kid that just bought my car, which I'm surprised you guys sold it when you didn't pay it off, he got in touch with me the other day and said, hey, you're Uber man, I bought your car. And I'm like, how'd you buy my car, man? I showed him my account. I was like, this thing's in the red. It's negative. They shouldn't have sold you a car. It ain't even paid off yet. It's like playing musical cars, like chasing financing or something. This is not okay.
Follow me real quick. Which bank is it that held the lien originally?
My bank is on that one. I don't remember what it is. It's on the title. Credit Acceptance Corp, I think.
Okay. So we had sometimes they have one group working on one side and the other side has an report on the other. I had that happen with my bank. Give me just a second, let me get Ruben out here.
All right.
You see that title? And this one has your name on it and everything already, or we just?
No, I just got that today, and I'm not going to go down and pay $800 and some in tags when I don't have a lien release for the other lien holder. Wioki is cleared, but there's nothing for Capital One, and I called Capital One, and they told me I couldn't. They couldn't release any information to me.
This is Danielle Yvonne. That's the tax commission. And this is you.
Overman.
Hey, I met that kid y'all sold my car to.
Gotcha.
They never paid it off.
I'm pretty sure they are.
It's not paid off, and it's about to hit my credit in a few days. My bank's calling me 3 times a day, wanting to know where the payment is. That's what I'm here dealing with now. And the kid said that y'all didn't give him the keys. I gave you a set of keys. I gave Eric a set of keys and a book. He got a book, and he didn't get the clicker. All he got was just one metal key. He didn't get a key fob or nothing.
My key got traded in because that night I was here.
Yeah.
The second key, that's Eric.
Right. They
That's
told
our
they,
key
they told him they don't have
Put
any.
it in, unless Eric has the other key in his office or something. All right.
He's up here. Yeah, I'm trying to get them to figure out why my car is not paid off, and they sold it to somebody. And
We'll figure it out.
yeah.
Ruben's working on it. He'll be right back. I got to go downstairs for just a second. I'll be right back.
All right.
I'm not ignoring you, I promise.
All right.
We got to get this resolved. Title set up, resolved tomorrow. Here's the check numbers that were sent to your bank. It was overnighted last night. They should have it today or tomorrow at the latest. Then those are the check amount for the first check, and this is we found out difference, so we had to send that second check at the same time. Those are the 2 check numbers.
Okay, and they were overnighted.
As of last night, so it'd have been essentially today was hit.
Okay, so they should have them tomorrow.
Right. And those are the check numbers, so they can keep track of it through the overnight.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm doing the best I can for you. I apologize. I'm stuck between 2
Yeah,
rocks, and I happen to be the one that represents David Stanley to you, so I apologize that.
this is
A nightmare.
it's been the worst experience I buy a lot of cars. I do. I've spent hours in this place, like hours. I've come here and had to sit and wait and I don't know. I think my biggest concern is that there's a kid out there just driving around in a car that I still owe $10,000 on.
Well, that'll hit there, and then tomorrow, we will have the set.
Yes.
And we can send him the lien release, so
Right. I mean, but from everything I've read and I've talked to, like, cars aren't supposed to be sold when there's still money owed to another bank.
I don't know why they did that. That's something I mean, forever your car had not a clear title on there forever, so
Well, I saw
Those
it. I
guys-
saw it on the website yesterday. I was just looking because I was like, I wonder what's going on. I looked and I saw it up for sale, and I was like, how do you sell a car that you don't legally own yet? I don't know. I had a dealership, but it was a very small dealership. It wasn't nearly anything near this little hole in the wall dealership. But I mean, I would have never taken a trade in and then just sold it before I'd even taken care of paying it off and making, because that could open up a whole can of worms if something goes wrong in one way or another. And this Mustang, I couldn't believe things got 2 liens on it. So
the other one, they call it cap, and they just haven't got they're gonna get the lien release. The problem what I'm having here is the main problem with David Stanley is the 240 store has accounting, all the primary title, all over there. So if we have a problem, we have to call over there, and that's not your issue. It's just, and I'm just a seller.
isn't that the one that they're shutting down?
No, we sold the Norman store.
Okay.
And then, let's see, so the Norman store is, and then the Norman David Stanley Dodge is up for sale too, so that one will probably disappear here shortly.
Yeah, it freaked me out after this kid contacted me, and told me
First of all, we should have pulled all the stickers off.
Well, the guy that sold it to him told him who I was and told him it was my car. He said without that, he wouldn't even known. He said the guy's like, yeah, this car belonged to Uberman. See the sticker on the back of it? We left it on here. And the kid was like, I didn't even know who you were without them telling me. And I was like, well, I guess it's a good thing they did, because he told me all the keys are gone. The key fobs are gone. I was like, I turned in 2 key fobs and 3 keys. And he's like, they didn't give me anything but a janky metal key. And I was like, well, they should have given you at least a key fob. And he called in today and they said, they told him we lost them. And I'm like, they lost all the keys except for one? Because the weird thing is that metal key you gave him was on a fob with another key and the book that I turned in.
Exactly.
He got the book, he got the metal key, but he didn't get the fob. And I gave...
we got the original key, which you gave us.
Yes, I gave that to Jamie, and then I gave you a secondary
book
key.
And stuff, I went out that day and put the book in the car, and I turned that key in too. So So that is a typical bureaucracy issue where keys. So it goes to UCI, and they get the keys, and then they send it back, and then it's supposed to be put in the key track.
Yeah,
that's just ridiculous.
I don't know. I told him, I was like, look, I don't know about the key. I said, I'll ask him, because I turned him in. I still got a ton of paperwork at home. I got all the maintenance records, tons of I said, I was like, that car is not yours yet. So before we go that far, wait till you have a title and lien release in your hand. Don't spend any money on it, because I don't know how this is going to work out.
Right.
But yeah, if it wasn't for whoever the salesman was, he told me who he was. I can't remember, but the salesman told him that belonged to Uberman. So he contacted me, not because he was upset or anything. He was just saying, hey, I bought your car.
The lien release, I'm waiting for the lady at 240 to give me to get the information from Capital One to get that done.
Okay.
So once that should take care of the problem. And then, of course, once that's paid off, he'll get a clean lien release too.
Okay.
Now, as far as if you happen to talk to him, I didn't say this. I would say, in used cars, I know I just happen to know for a fact that they're both key fobs are turned in. I would fight for those like a bat, because theirs are about $160.
Well, he was supposed to meet me here, because I paid for those at Automax Hyundai when I bought the car.
Yeah.
Like that's something, because it didn't come with any, and I was like, how does a 1-year-old car not have the freaking key fob? So, I paid for that, and I paid for them to activate one of them. The other one I didn't activate it, and I got an extra key and everything with it. And that's what he was saying. He's like, those key fobs are expensive, and he's like, yeah, they sold it to me for $10,500. I was like, I used to write contracts for my little dealership, and I would always, make a customer feel like they're getting a great deal, but you add it to the back end of the contract. They never know any different. You make your money, but I'm looking at my contract, and I'm like, you guys sold me the car at fair market value. You sold him you gave me $12,000 for an Elantra that wasn't worth $8,000 trade-in.
Yeah.
And you sold it to him for $10,500.
So and then we lost $2,000.
So I'm just sitting here like, how does a dealership, especially one this big, make money
on the back end? So that's the issue. So if I would call them around 3 o'clock to make sure they got those checks, And if they don't, call me and I'll come up here and raise hell again and sit in there and go like I have been.
All right.
Because
Yeah, as of tomorrow, there's 1 week left before it hits my credit report.
well, they send it as of overnight,
Okay.
and those are the check numbers, so we can.
Well, as long as
track
it got sent out, it should
hit.
should be cleared up before it hits my account. I called them and I was like, I traded in. They said, well, that's not our problem. They said, you have a contract with us and you have to
American
pay it.
Acceptance is a no recourse bank, and they are tough cookies.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, listen, if we don't get this done, they're going to be out for a hook on the other person.
Yes.
And we're going to be in serious shit.
Well, I told the kid, I said, man, these people don't play.
No, so we've got that squared away. And then I think, so if there's anything else I can help you with, I will. Like I said, I'll fight for you.
Everything seems good. I just need to know that before I go down there and pay the $800 and some dollars in
Yeah, that's
taxes.
something I have to deal with tomorrow.
Okay.
Because she's got to wait for her to call Capital One, get them on the phone. And then, of course, she's over there. So we should be able to finalize that tomorrow.
Okay.
And if we have to continue a tag out, we can do that too.
Okay.
Because we have to.
Okay. All right. So then, as far as today goes, we're done. And then,
Right.
do I come back tomorrow? Are you guys going to call me back, or? That's another
Do you
thing.
have your phone?
Yeah.
Call me. So that way I have.
Every time I've called here and I've been told I'm going to get a call back, nobody's ever got. I have to physically come here to get any kind of assistance.
Trust me, I know about that.
All right. What's your number? There you have it, guys. That's what I've got. Tell me, please. I'm dying to hear your comments. Please comment below and tell me what you think. Have you ever seen or heard of a dealership acting in this manner? Hell, their own people don't even know why they sold my car. They weren't supposed to sell my car. They don't know why they sold it. Oops, we sold a car that doesn't belong to us. No, let me tell you something. That's not how this works. They sold me a car that still had a lien on it. They sold that guy my car that still had a lien on it. It's not an accident. They're shuffling financing around. Instead of paying money out of their own pocket to pay off the debt on the cars, they're selling the cars to someone else, hopefully quickly, all right, and then getting that financing approved so that they never pay out of their own pocket to cover the cost of a car. That is some shady business, because my credit was 3 days away from getting a strike against it for non-payment. And let me tell you something. In the last 3 years that I've been financing cars, I have never been late on a single car payment. Never. I've never been late on any payment, period. Not a credit card, not a rent payment, not a utility bill, nothing. All of my bills are paid on time, every time. I don't screw around with it. My credit is not good, and I'm working very hard to build it back up. And I was literally just a few days away from having a negative mark on my credit because I didn't make the payment that the dealer told me not to make because they were going to cover it, but they didn't. Unbelievable. Again, this is David Stanley Ford on Southeast 29th Street in Midwest City, selling cars with liens on them, letting people drive off the lot with cars that they don't own, and practicing some very, very shady business. I am going to send this link to several news stations and hope that somebody picks this up and exposes them. I did some research into them, and it turns out they have been hit with more fines than just about any other. In fact, no, more than any other big-name dealership in the state of Oklahoma. Most recently, they got hit with something like a $370,000 fine for false advertising, some kind of fraudulent advertising, and they've been hit repeatedly, and now the tax commission has threatened to take away their new dealer's license. So this is obviously nothing new to them, but I can't believe that they are out here selling cars that they don't own, that I'm still responsible for. And God forbid something happens, and they never paid it off, and I'm still sitting here holding the note to that car. This is not how you do business. I don't appreciate having to waste hours. Guys, I had to go in there no less than 8 times. And each time, I'm talking a minimum of an hour I'm sitting there. Sometimes I sat there for 3 hours. I spent so many hours going in there trying to get this resolved because they weren't doing it. They wouldn't answer my calls. They wouldn't return my calls. And let me tell you something. When they wanted to sell the car, now they were all about customer service when they were selling it to me. And here's another thing that I haven't figured out yet either. My Elantra trade-in value was worth $8,500 or so. They gave me $8,000. They offered me $8,000 for it. I still owed $10,200. All right, no problem. Transfer the negative equity to the new car. I don't care about that. No big deal, right? Well, when they came back to me, when I went in on the 23rd and said, why do we not have financing proven? They said they need more money. You know what they did? They upped my trade-in to $12,000 for a car that it's not even worth $12,000 retail. And before you say, they probably added it to the back end of the contract. No, they didn't. They sold me no extras. I got nothing. No extras to compensate for the amount of money they were putting out. Something is not right with that, because they sold me this Mustang that's worth about $30,000 retail. They sold it to me for $27,000. So it's under what they should have sold it to me for. And they gave me way too much. I'm talking like $4,000 too much for my Elantra. And then they just took that money and applied it towards like the down payment. How are you running? Something is very shady. Dealers don't lose money, and dealers aren't in the business of paying out more for a car and selling them for less than they're worth. Something's very shady with this, and I hope that the media can get involved and expose whatever's going on here, because I can guarantee you at the end of the day, it's the consumer that's going to end up getting screwed on this. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and stay safe out there.